Okay, so let's fast forward 6 weeks from today.
Okay.
Let's say that we're sitting here again, and I want to know what has to have happened over the previous 40 days or so for you to feel happy about your progress.
Sticking to it every day, marking every day off the calendar.
Yeah, sustaining it then past the 40 days. So
Yeah.
showing improvement in physical and mental health.
Losing a couple pounds would be great.
Yeah. Cool, Brooke. Thanks for popping back in the
You're
studio.
welcome.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
We chatted a few months ago before the sprint.
Yep.
And now that you've been through the entire 6 week sprint, it's actually been a month or a little bit more than that past the end of the sprint.
Yep.
Right, officially. What happened? So how'd you do?
Well, I did great. I lost 20 pounds, which
Awesome.
is awesome because I've probably gained that over the course of a year, like the last year. So to get that off was great. And now I'm ready to go, keep going and do more and lose more.
Yeah, cool. Okay. And so when you started H40, I think you said to me initially a few months ago that, it was, you weren't sure how complicated it was.
Mm-hmm.
There's this spectrum, like easy, hard in life. We have easy things, hard things. We have simple and complicated.
Mm-hmm.
I think H40 can be simple, very simple, much simpler than most people think.
Yeah.
But it can be hard, right?
Yeah.
I mean, changing your dietary approach, exercising and moving every day,
Yes.
Even if it's a walk, can be challenging for some people. But was it easy for you? Was it simple? Just walk us through how you approach that 6 weeks.
Okay, so some things were easier than others still, and one of the reasons why I'm doing it again is to layer in more of the mods or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it was fairly simple. I think changing the eating was honestly the easiest for me, and I thought it was going to be the hardest.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You just kind of get to the point where you realize if you want to live the life that you want to live, you need to make changes. So that's kind of where I was at, and I'm like, it's now or never, kind of.
Yeah.
So hopefully that this will be like a lifelong way to go about things, so I don't have to battle.
Rhythm for eating.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Have you ever heard about the concept of wrapping your carbs? So like eating your fats and your proteins before your carbs versus eating your carbs first in a meal.
I think I heard it maybe like one other time, like the order that you eat your food, and then you did mention it in the eat video. So
I think it's huge. The order in which
you forget you learn these things along the way. So hearing it again was nice and reinforcing.
Yeah. So when you say eating, what did you change? Like how did you change your diet? Because we don't necessarily recommend a diet. We sort of talk about a dietary approach to life. Like obviously people understand good, clean, whole food is better than processed junk food, right? I mean, so there's this, but that food tastes good because most people's palates are used to that food, the high sugar, high salt.
For sure.
So I think it's changing or evolving that. I mean, so how did you approach diet, and did you change your relationship with carbs at all? Like the carb fasting concept a little bit?
I do like 3 or 4 days of low carb days. And then the other days I might not watch as carefully, but I'm still watching what I eat. Like I'm not eating as much processed food. And when I do eat it, I feel it. Like the next day I'm like, oh, that was not a good idea.
Yeah,
and then
awareness.
it just changes your mind to like, okay, I don't want to feel like that anymore. So it just conscientiously like changes your choices right off the bat.
Yeah.
So that was super helpful.
Yeah. So do you think, so when you say low carbs, do you track carbs or you just eat?
I don't.
So give me an example of a morning lunch.
Yeah. It's usually like eggs and avocado or eggs and some sort of sausage or bacon or something like that. Try not to do that too much, but so that's usually my breakfast. And then fruits and vegetables, a lot of protein, chicken. We'll do beef, still do beef and stuff like that. But yeah. I've
noticed high fats. You mentioned bacon. You laugh at bacon, but high fat foods for me, it helps my speech. It helps like the neural pathways. If I look at the macros like proteins, fats, and carbs, like junk food, highly processed carbs and sugars, like affect my speech negatively a huge way.
And just energy.
Proteins and fats help my speech. Yeah. And so I don't so maybe you shouldn't feel that guilty about the bacon. Yeah.
Mostly about the salt, I guess.
Yeah.
more like it.
talk about Adam. So we started with a morning routine, just the importance of how you wake up and attack the day versus letting the day attack you.
Yes. And when I have done, like I said, I've done other programs that are similar before, and I kind of let it slide after a while. But yeah, I mean, I love having that morning routine.
So how do you wake up in the morning? Adam, we talked about Adam, and we're in week 1 of this second sprint. We had 21 people do the first sprint.
Okay.
You were part of the second one, 1,122 people in the second sprint.
Wow.
We have almost 5,000 people signed up across all platforms for this third sprint. So it's growing amazing. Pretty quickly. Yeah. And we're talking about Adam. So activate, drink, appreciate, meditate. How did you approach Adam the first time, and how might you change that the second time?
I was one of the things I was most excited about was Adam, because I tend to stay up too late.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd still get up early, but I'm super tired, so still not great about the going to bed part. But for Adam, I'll get up, just start with some deep, like some box breathing type situation. Yeah. I go downstairs, let the dog out, grab my water, drink the water while I'm out there enjoying the fresh air and everything, and then I come in, do my morning stretches, and then kind of get on with my day.
Yeah, stretching is one thing. Yeah, I know. So I've started to stretch more as part of Adam, and that's an incredible way to activate the body. I was doing it at the gym. Yeah. So I was going to the gym, I was working out. At the end of the workout, I'd do a stretch. And I noticed my heart rate was elevated because I do some cardio, some high intensity interval training, and then I do some anaerobic, lift weights or whatever. So 40 minutes into it, I start a 10 to 15 minute stretch routine. You would think this is like a warm down routine. Yeah. My heart rate stays as elevated during that because like I'm really stretching. Like, if it's reach for the skies, I mean, you're not just stretching your hammies a little bit, like
you're stretching deep in there.
Stretching is amazing. Yeah,
it really is. It makes me feel younger just because I'm not getting up off the couch and my hips aren't hurting anymore and stuff like that. So, and I had always been like fairly flexible. I cheered in high school, but that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and I missed having like feeling flexible and things like that. So once I started doing that, I can proudly say I can do splits and straddles again at the age of 50.
Wow. That's crazy.
So I do some pretty good stretches to get me there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So are you changing it for the second sprint, your second one? Are you changing Adam at all, or just sort of
I think I
keeping that rhythm?
It's such part of my morning that I probably shouldn't mess with perfection.
Yeah.
So
it's working.
So it's definitely working.
Yeah. So is there 6 modules in H4, so H40. So which ones are you looking forward to? If Adam is sort of, force of habit now.
Well, I want to revisit the food thing again, just because, you tend to stray when you get, whatever in the weekends with, going up to the lake and stuff. We just trying to, so get back into doing that more strictly. I do a lot of stretching. I probably for about a half an hour. I have this stretching routine, and I'm walking while I'm doing some of the things, and I'm doing some push-ups and stuff like that, and some calf raises,
Yeah.
So just trying to keep moving and just keeping that would be amazing. I do want to start layering in some of the HIIT with my walk, because so just stay
even
more
if it's
active
a short sprint, even if it's 20 seconds of sprinting, and if you're walking, even like jogging, and then walking, and then jogging and walking, and that high intensity interval training, it just the goal is to elevate your heart rate, make it higher than just what a walk would do. And walking's amazing. Yeah. If people just followed the eat plan, the rhythm, the dietary approach, plus walked an extra 1 to 3 miles a day, I think they'd see dramatic results over time. It might take a little bit longer, but if you inject, high intensity interval training or any form of weightlifting, are you doing any weights at all?
I haven't. That's another thing I kind of want to layer into do a little bit just light stuff. I've done some resistance band stuff.
Okay, which is good for strength training
weights?
For sure. Yeah, I think strength training, any like resistance training is good for sure. It could be your body weight.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
I've done some like push-ups and stuff like that.
Plates.
And with my stretching, I'll do like push-ups against the steps, like the elevated and stuff like that. So definitely more of that.
I mean, we have some incredible information to convey. Some we call them around here mental inventions. Okay. So these are some things that sort of we've invented as a team collectively. But again, just putting the science together to where it's actually doable, to where you can actually, implement this as a lifestyle. Did you jump into biohacking at all the first time around? Like, what did you do for supplements? Are you taking any supplements? You're experimenting?
I'm not. So I do have some, it's like a MCT wellness supplement. You can throw it in your coffee or your drink or whatever.
So MCT oil.
Yeah. So
medium chain triglycerides.
Yes.
Yep.
So I have those, and I've had them for a while, and I just need to get into the habit of using them.
Good healthy fats again for the brain will help the brain just fire on all cylinders. That's the goal. Have you tried bulletproof coffee?
No.
So
I have mushroom coffee.
So that's good. So that's good too. But coffee bulletproof is really pretty effective. It's coffee, right? Mixed in with butter.
Oh,
so
okay.
Kerrygold, it could be like, organic grass-fed butter.
I have heard
and
about
then MCT oil.
Okay.
Toss that in there. It's really a powerful pick-me-up in the morning for sure. And it tastes, you blend it all together. It almost tastes like a drink you'd get at Starbucks, but without all the calories, without all the bad stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm also a night owl,
Yeah.
which can really work against me sometimes. So I have to break myself of that habit as well. I mean, I'm still staying up till, 11, 12 o'clock at night, but ideally I'd love to be in bed at 10.
Yeah.
And I would love for that to be my kind of set bedtime. And, so I'm getting up I would love to get up at 5 every morning. Right now, this morning was 5:45. So I'm just kind of working my way back to that ideal time to get up.
How about bedtime? You said you're sort of an evening person.
I'm so bad at it.
So what about setting an alarm? Like most people think of alarms.
I know.
You set in the morning.
Right.
What about putting an alarm on your phone for the evening? That's one of the things that we're going to talk about that some people talk to us about this last sprint is like the most important alarm is not the morning, it's the evening.
Right.
Like it's 10 p.m. Like just set the alarm.
Yeah. I definitely am going to try that because that's definitely a thing for me.
Yeah. What do you think makes it challenging?
I don't know. I've always
Kids?
said no, not really. I get like engrossed in like a show or whatever, and it's just my chill time. And I think it does stem from when the kids were little. That was my alone time. So like
put them to bed and you unplug for a few hours.
So I have no one yelling at me for me and all that stuff. But
so if you go to bed, typically what time?
Anywhere between 11 and 1.
Okay, so it could be late. And then so let's call it 11 to 12-ish. So when do you wake up?
I'm usually up by 7.
Okay.
So I have my alarm set for like 7:15 just in case I don't get up before that. But usually I do get up.
Okay, but usually your internal clock gets you up. Yeah, and I think that to me that 7 hours is the key for most people.
Yeah.
So I love to get set 7 hours. Some days it's a little bit less than that.
Yeah.
But days when it's so I've noticed if I have back-to-back days of significantly under 7 hours of sleep, I'm dragging.
Yeah.
And actually if I get 8 hours, that's like too much.
Right.
So for me, it's the sweet spot is at 7 hours. Yeah. What would you say, Brooke, to someone who's sort of on the fence? We all agree that health is important, right?
Yes.
I think that. So during age 40, people realize that, there's easy and hard, and then there's simple and complex. I think most people are surprised at how simple these ideas are.
Yeah, they are.
Doesn't mean they're necessarily
easy. It's like stuff
easy.
Yeah. It's, it in your head to be
reframed a little bit differently.
But it's reframed and it's presented in a way that's not overwhelming or you don't feel like a failure. Oh, I missed a day. Like, nobody's gonna
Man, I read this
penalize you for it.
So great quote from a friend of mine. It went something like this. It's like, babies don't fall down and fail to get up 50 times in a row and think, man, walking
is overrated.
For me, right? It's not for me. No,
so true.
It's ingrained in them. Just there is no, like, they don't fail. Like falling down is not failing.
Right.
Stopping is failing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
but I mean,
love that.
if you get off track a little bit, like again, you go up to the lake for the weekend and for one reason or another, your diet wasn't perfect or you didn't exercise, you didn't move. Monday is a good day to reset, right? Because Monday it's back to reality and a good day to reset. And hopefully the deeper in that rhythm you get, the easier it is to maybe have better weekends even down the road because then you don't have to catch up. Yeah.
And I don't beat myself up anymore. Before I'd be like, oh, I missed a day, so it's over.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh, well, I missed a day, better to do better tomorrow.
So if you were a Freedomology coach, let's pretend that you're a coach now. How do you move somebody from interest to committed. What would you say to someone who's like, who knows they need to get physically and mentally stronger, who this program would help them?
Yeah.
How do you move them from interest?
I mean, I would probably, explain to them my story and how it worked for me, and just do it. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So any last piece of advice for anybody that's thinking about jumping on board or anything?
Just do it.
Yeah. No, it's a good one.
Do it. I feel so much better, and I can't wait over the next 40 days to see how much that
just continue
even more. So
yeah. I'm excited to see the next 40 days, but I'm also excited to talk to you in a year.
Yeah.
Like a year from now, because we've built this entire program around this sort of loose framework theory, and it's not a diet. It's not a workout. It's a rhythm.
Yeah, it's a livable situation. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm excited to talk to you again a year from now and see how things are going.
I have a trip planned for November to go to Costa Rica, so
okay.
I have that goal in mind of like wanting to get in good shape too, because obviously it's an adventure destination.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be sitting on the sidelines and like, oh, I'm not going to go zip lining because I feel self-conscious and stuff like that. So, that's in my head too. So
that's awesome, Brooke. Well, thanks for popping out today. Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.